Welcome everyone to the 21st edition of the Sploro Cascade Funding webinar series. Well, I'm Paula, Communications Lead at Sploro, and it's a pleasure to be your host for today's session once again. I'm thrilled that, the ones we have here by now are attending. Thank you so much for trusting us once again. Today's session is going to be focused on one of the most urgent topics nowadays, which is nature preservation. So whether you're developing bio-based products or addressing perhaps marine pollution, or simply just passionate about sustainable innovation, you're in the right place today. So this session is especially designed for startups, SMEs, public authorities, or innovators overall, working to create tangible environmental impact. So today we're going to explore real opportunities to help you fund your green solutions. Without further ado, let's get started with today's speakers. And the first project, as I told you, it's going to be RHEMED, presented by Julia Gomez. She's a senior associate at Anthenium Group. And well, RHEMED Open Call, it's a great opportunity for end users to test and validate bio-based ingredients and products in real production environments. So whenever you're ready, Julia, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Paula. So thanks everyone to join today, and thanks Sploro and especially Paula to invite us in this webinar. I don't know, one sec. No, okay. This is a disclaimer, and then today I will do a brief introduction of RHEMED project. Then I will explain a little bit about our open call, and then how you can apply and who can apply, and then a few minutes for questions and answers. So RHEMED is a European project funded under Horizon Europe. And we started around 2023, and then it will run till the end of 2026. So it's a project of 36 months of duration. And then we are 13 partners. Actually, we are 5 living labs based in Spain, Portugal, Italy, Ireland, and Finland. And then we have other partners also based in Spain, Germany, Belgium, and Norway. So the main goal of RHEMED is to co-create innovative forms of cooperation, integrating primary producers in order to do novel bioeconomy and value chains with a multi-actor approach that I will talk a little bit later. And then we will try to do an open access knowledge hub, that this will be achieved through an open access toolbox where European stakeholders can try to find information related to the success fee, lessons learned, and our living labs. And then we will do novel circular business models in bioeconomy. This will be achieved thanks to our living labs and thanks to the open call that I will explain later as well. So to do so, we need to achieve a specific objective. So first of all, we will demonstrate around 15 high-value bio-based value chains. And then thanks to that, we can build new circular business models in the bioeconomy involving, this is super important, the primary sector, as I said before. And then we are working as well in the policies recommendations in our living labs, because we want to build these circular business models in more local or regional scale, let's say. And then we want to do, this is a RIA, it's a research innovation action. So we want to achieve a public acceptance, and we want to try to let know to everyone all the opportunities that the primary sector can do valorizing biomass, and what other stakeholders in the industry can do with that, with these high value added products. And then we are working in a collaborative ecosystem. So we are doing a lot of workshops with the stakeholders, specifically in each of our living labs. And then thanks to the open call, we will offer technical and financial support to build these circular business models that we want to do it to achieve business models that can be replicable across Europe. So don't have to be in the same country of our living labs, but it's like an idea that you can do it in another place. And then with all of this in Prime, we will do, as I said, a digital toolbox where European stakeholders can go through it. So this will be free, and we will share our knowledge, success cases, or bad practices and good practices. And then to achieve all of this, we need our living labs. So we establish 5 living labs, as I said, across Europe, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Ireland, and Finland. So the Spanish one is based in Catalonia, and they are valorizing agri-food and livestock and through anaerobic digestion and biochemical transformation in order to do biogas, nitrogenous water, and biofertilizers. Then we have the Portuguese lab that they are valorizing agri-food and forestry. Actually, they are valorizing rice husk, and they are introducing in their technology in the Senti partner place, and they are producing functional silly nanoparticles, and they can do it like 2 things, or you can use it directly to build new biomaterials, or they can modify for you in order to achieve better properties and have like as well like biomaterials, like more in the textile, medical, or so on. Then we have the Italian lab that they are doing 2 value chains. One is valorizing fishery waste in order to put it, now we have one project that they are taking the fishery waste, putting in the fermentator and doing biostimulant for agriculture fields. And then another one, it's agri-food to produce bioplastics or biofertilizers. The other living lab, it's the Irish one that they are trying to do valorizing forestry waste to produce biochar or dairy products to produce as well bioplastics. And last but not least, we have the Finnish living lab that they are doing. They have a cell plant culture, and they are valorizing agri-food and agri-food streams to produce food and cosmetics. And then now we can go more to the open call. So we did one open call already that it's closed, and as I said, we are doing the valorization and the testing with the selected end users. Actually, we selected 4. So we selected for the second living lab, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. We didn't select anyone for the first one. So now in the second open call, we will select 2 for the first living lab and then 1 for all the others. And as I said, the main goal is to validate the high value bio-based products, and in order to co-create new circular business models. And I don't know if I was clear because we don't have too much time, but depending on the living lab, they have the technology. The others, maybe they can, they are more a living lab, more in a network. They have like more the network with the other stakeholders. So it's every living lab works like quite different. But if you are interested in one of them, you can just send me a message, or you can ask me later, and I can clarify a bit. Okay, so We are giving up to 50K euros per end user, and you can cover laboratory analysis, market analysis, logistics, or travels, because if you need to travel from your site to the living labs, you can also spend this money for that. Then for equipment, technology, or other expenses, or legal or financial intellectual property, or freedom to operate. And then it is important to know that the validation process is just 10 months, and then we need like few months more, because I will explain later, but as in Prime Project, we are always we are also offering additional services like technology, economic activities that we have here, SINTEF. Then we will help you to build these preliminary business models that here we are in Beniam, and then social impact evaluation that here there is Lutz, who is a university in Finland, and then life cycle assessment for the most promising solutions. So you have this 50K for the services that I mentioned before, and then extra we are giving this for free because the European Commission is paying us for the person month to do these additional services. And then this is the timeline. So we open this open call on March, and then we will close this in the 30th of May. So we are over like quite on the date, but if you are interested, I think you have time to do a proposal. It's not that long, so we really encourage you to do it. And then we will evaluate these proposals in June with an evaluator team that is composed of Prime Project partners. And then in July, we will sign a contracts with the selected end users. And then, as I said, in September 2025, we will start with the validation. And then who can apply? So this open call is for profit entities within the European Union member state or associate members. And then we are choosing projects that are like in TRL 4 or 5, and they can achieve TRL 6 or 7. This is basically because we want to achieve circular business models, as I said, replicable. So we need to try to find end users that are like more advanced. And then it is super important to involve the primary producers and to integrate it perfectly in your process. And then, of course, you need to integrate the bio-based ingredients or the process that the Living Lab is doing. But if you're interested as well, you can talk with them, and then you can have like conversations and to try to be aligned. And then how you can apply, basically you have here our website, and then we have a section that it's open call, and you can see here on the right of the slide, few boxes. You can download the templates for the proposal. Also, you can find guidelines form if you have more questions. And then also at the end of the website, you have questions and answers that you can have a look. You need to fill up the form in English. It's not that long, as I said, but of course, if you want to win, and actually, like the evaluator team is the evaluators are different and they have different expertise. So, and it's not composed of any of the Living Labs leaders. So these proposals has to be really clear and accurate and specified all your needs and why we need to choose you instead of another one. And then when you have the proposal ready, you need to submit in our email that you have here in the website, but actually I think we can share through the chat later on. And this is all. Thank you so much for your attention. And if you have any questions, you can go ahead. And as well, if you don't want to ask now, you can send me an email through this email. Thank you.
we'll be moving on to the second project today, which is remediation. And this is an open call for associated regions. So it's presented by Antonino Adamo, which you're already seeing on the screen. He's a technologies and project manager at CNR IAS. And well, the remediation open call targets local and regional authorities aiming to address chemical pollution in coastal or inland semi-confined Mediterranean regions. So if you're interested in the marine ecosystem protection, this one's for you. So whenever you're ready, Antonino, the floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you, Paola, for giving us this opportunity. This brief presentation is on remediation project, is an Horizon Europe Mission Ocean project, whose title is Responsive Hub for long-term governance to distress the Mediterranean Sea from chemical pollution. And we will go in depth very quickly on the open call for associated regions that it's actually open. Okay, this is the consortium of this innovation action project. Is made up mainly by European member states, Portugal, Italy, Greece, Belgium, but also Turkey. And the project concept, so, is a 3-year EU-funded project aimed at reducing chemical pollution, and the main means to do that is microalgae-based technology to remove heavy metals, pesticides, PFAS, and so on. It includes also mobile and fixed sensors to monitor chemical substances with data integrated in the Emodinet platform for the digital twin of the ocean. So there is a geochemistry component, but also an important IT component. One of the ambitions of the project, in particular the work page 5 we are currently managing, deals with replicating the replication approach for a potential over an additional 5 associated regions demo cases selected to maximize the validated technology basket exploitation. So mainly there will be 3 demonstration cases within the project, within the remediation consortium, this is to say in Greece, Italy, and Turkey. And then we aim with this Cascade funding mechanism, we aim to add over 5 associated regions demo cases. So we can go just now more in depth to the open call for associated regions with some key points. So who can apply associated regions? So associated regions is a complex concept. They're understood as areas with ecosystem that can benefit from the demonstration activities. These associated regions must be located in EU member state or associated countries. Here you can find a web link with a complete list of this country. Please do not go to the other third country that are not eligible. Countries being part of the remediation consortium, that is to say Belgium, Greece, Italy, Portugal, and Turkey, are not eligible either. And local authorities, not the countries, but the local authorities financed by our sister project that is called RHEMED are not eligible either. We have to say that this issue of eligibility is a little bit complex because eligible countries list has been changing continuously due to political reasons. These are controls. We always strongly recommend to look at this link for the eligible countries. So some key points about application process and timeline. The call was launched on March 31st and it will close on May 31st. So the time is running out for us as well. Unfortunately, it will be a single stage submission. And then what about evaluation and selection? It will occur in mid-June. Granting should be completed by the end of August, and then the project can start in September and close after 9 months. What are the purposes of this open call to associated regions? So engage local and regional authorities to demonstrate the feasibility, replicability, and scalability of the remediation solution. Support these third parties. There is to say the associated regions once they are granted in the development of the replication strategies and creating an associated roadmap, then securing the interest of the local regional authorities in these policies to reduce the pollution in coastal seawater, and the support that is involved in upscaling these solutions from a local level to a national level. What can we fund? What about the fundable activities? So at first, we can fund the activities in identifying a potential replication site, or undertake the preliminary design assessment for a potential establishment at the site under study, and develop a work timetable and roadmap for future implementation, promote the exploitation of the developed roadmap to be endorsed at that national level, to upscale the level of interest, as we said before, contribute to participate in specific workshop in the end of the project and with relevant authorities and interested stakeholders. So let's bear in mind that we are not funding the implementation of the system, the replication of the system as itself. We are funding feasibility studies, the characterization of the sites, in order to assess whether the site will be suitable for replicating the technologies. What about the funding? The exact amount to be granted will not exceed 100,000 euros for each replication site, as the whole budget for 5 associated regions is 500,000 euros. The selected third parties will be considered responsible for proper utilization of the funding, and they should comply with the obligations of Horizon Europe. What about the application procedure? You can go to this link. At the end of the presentation, you will have it, the presentation, I mean, so it will be easier for you to check these websites. We have this free platform, F6S. There you can apply. In the website remediation.eu open call, you can find the guidelines for applicants. It is the main document explaining you how everything works. A technical specification document. These are the main documents, and they should be read carefully in order to apply, and then also a proposal template that must be submitted, and a declaration of owner. What about the eligibility rules? So applicants must be local or regional authorities from the associated regions, including bodies representing local regional authorities, such as regional planning bodies, agencies, and so on. And so they should be not for profit, of course, and the applicants will have to investigate their legislations and provide the necessary official evidence showing that they are defined as local or regional authorities to be eligible. It is important to note that private entities are not permitted to apply, but once a local or regional authority has been awarded, they can enter the project through subcontracting, and this applies also to research institutes and the academia, university, and so on. And then consortia are not deemed eligible. Only a single local authority is eligible to apply. What about evaluation process? I will be very brief on this. There will be an eligibility check carried out by the CNR, my institution, then a relevancy screening by the evaluation committee about the scope of the proposal. There is to say to check if it is in line with the remediation project technologies and the European dimension. So you should demonstrate why it will need the European granting, and then the evaluation on the following criteria: technical value, impact of proposed activities, implementation of the project, and so on. You will have the evaluation as itself. Each evaluator will score the 3 evaluation criteria from 0 to 5. That will be an ESR at the end of the procedure, as for common European Horizon Europe projects. For each criteria, for each section, the minimum threshold is 3 out of 5. The overall threshold is 10. And if unfortunately one proposal receives less than 3 in any of the criteria, it will be rejected. After evaluation, there will be the project negotiation and the sub-grant agreement signing. It is a contract actually between the CNR representing the remediation consortium and the grantee, and it will include the individual work plan with key performance indicator to be followed and so on. What about the funding? So the program has a 9 months long period divided into 3 stages: the replication site, the definition, the replication site implementation, and the upscale. For each of these stages, there is a mandatory deliverable, a fixed time in months, and a fixed lump sum. So 17,000 euros at the beginning, and then depending on the valuation of the program, there will be the other payments in lump sum payments. So based on the final score, the beneficiary outputs will be evaluated at the end of each stage, and grantees scoring above the threshold will successfully receive the next payments, while grantees scoring below the threshold will be invited to submit the deliverables again, and they will have another possibility to be checked. What about the resources provided by the consortium? There will be a mentorship committee made up by representatives from the project consortium, helping with the site assessment, the site under analysis, working timetable development, and so on. And then an open call manager appointed by us, the CNR, as an administrative contact point, guaranteeing project progress tracking, deliverable collection, and so on. So my presentation is just at the end. I strongly suggest you to go to the main website, remediationu.opencall. There you can find all documents necessary to apply. And of course, feel free to write to us, especially just from now, because time is running out, unfortunately. These are the main email accounts you can write to in order to get more information. And so thank you, Paula, again, and everybody for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. Both attendees and speakers, as well as media. Thank you very much for trusting us once again and joining, this Cascade Funding Info Day on nature preservation. So we hope that this session was helpful for you and that it's giving you the motivation to apply. And perhaps, you must be a click away from your success. So before you go, make sure to subscribe to our Cascade Funding newsletter, because as I told you, if this time it's not working for you, you might find something else that will. And you can follow us on social media. Keep collaborating and building together a more sustainable, greener world. And let's keep innovating all together. So thank you very much and have a nice weekend, everyone. It was great to meet you.